Yeah, no, good Chipotle is. There's not really much of a better way to start a podcast off. Old Chipotle. All right,
Study up. Watching this, lock in. Keep what rolling?
Did you say it sold like a fish?
Yeah,
Wait,
actually, I was.
I mean, sell the dead fish for $500. Sell the PS fish for free. It's
Yeah,
good to be
whatever.
Live, baby.
We live. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 5, our 2026 prediction episodes.
Let's go.
PromptCast, the AI podcast, episode 5. My name's Luke. I am a computer science and business major at University of Rochester.
I'm Jack. I'm at Northeastern. I'm studying computer science and business.
And I'm Yash, an architecture and CS student at the University of Virginia. The three of us just had lunch. We had Chipotle catered to us, and then we realized that everybody around us was starting companies, even though they were a couple years older than we were, which just got us excited for not only doing this podcast, which is kind of our first real step into starting something in the AI world that's entirely our own, but also just what we think the world of AI is going to look like in those next couple of years, specifically, like Luke said, end of 2026. Will it look entirely different by the time we're those founders' age? We don't know yet, but we have a couple of predictions.
How much easier will it be to found a company by the end of 2026?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, we were just sitting down eating Chipotle, which got, awesome meal. But we were looking around, and the average age of the founders in that room was about 22, 23.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
It was, we're
coming up there. Luke's an old man. He's already almost there.
pretty crazy stuff. I know we gotta think of something. You gotta brainstorming, doc.
Your career's already over.
Dude, past my prime, bro.
You missed the window.
No. Gotta be the Tom Brady of AI world, dude. I got time. All right. Let's start this off. The way we're gonna be doing this is we're gonna have 2 predictions each. We're gonna kind of be bringing each of them up. Going to go like a little snake draft. I think might work.
Okay.
If you've ever played Catan, we'll do it like that. But yeah, I guess I'll kick us off with our first prediction. You guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Ready.
All right. First prediction is we will see AGI by most definitions by the end of 2026. AGI is artificial general intelligence, if you don't know, and it's defined by many ways. Some think of it as, the way I think of it is when it's basically adequate at performing human level, tasks mentally, that it can think at the same level or better. And I think it's defined in all sorts of different ways with all sorts of different benchmarks. But I think by some standards we're already there. By most we're probably not. But I think we will, and maybe even by the time the episode comes out, we'll be there. Who knows?
Something I was talking about with my dad on a long car ride to Vermont was like, it's a lot easier to define like pivotal moments in society. It's a lot easier to define them in hindsight sometimes. So like, we don't necessarily know what the correct definition of AGI is, but I'm sure that like maybe in like 5 years we'll look back and be like, that moment in time is when everything changed. That's the inflection point.
Yeah.
And so it's hard right now to like nail down a definition, but something I've seen recently that I like as a definition is kind of like a more economic version of AGI, and it's like, can your agent or like series of agents work together to like make money by themselves?
Oh, interesting.
So we've talked about Vending Bench like 15 times at this point. But just a refresher, Vending Bench was a benchmark where popular LLMs like Gemini get data from a live vending machine, and then they have to they have complete freedom to stock it with whatever they want. And so this is an exciting first look into like economic benchmarks. We'll have a whole episode on benchmarks later. But.
We will actually next episode, so stay tuned. But so you're saying instead of what it's typically been defined as in terms of progress as a lot of these standard benchmarks, then a lot of, in the AI world, right, it's like compute is like the number one currency. And you're saying bringing the value of like gauging an AI's performance back on monetary performance.
How much money can you make with this much compute? Maybe is a good
kind of interesting, because it goes back to what you were talking about, Luke, in the sense of like you define AGI as when can it do a human level task. Yeah, it might seem kind of weird to say, but I think making money is the most like human driven task. Like,
you have to understand what people want in society to make money. Like,
exactly.
Did you say it sold sold like a fish.
Yeah,
Wait,
actually,
explain
I was
that. Wait,
I was
this made me
digging
think of
around
that.
LinkedIn and I found the first,
What
like
is-
somehow by some
yeah.
coincidence I arrived at the creator of Vending Bench's like LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
And I looked at his most recent post. 'Cause I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Like, what is he posting about? And it's like on his account, he reposted a headline about Vending Bench, and it was like
Yeah.
one of the models. I forget which one, but one of the LLMs tried to like sell a dead fish
Mm.
through the vending machine.
Okay.
Not sure if that worked out, but it also gave away a PS5 for free. I think was another thing. So
Yeah, it's
Okay.
genius.
but that just shows like we need like obviously these LLMs can do like
Yeah.
insane like
Computation.
Olympic level math, competition level math.
Yeah.
There's so many benchmarks that are like math based as well, and just but at the same time, like you're seeing that it struggles to sell things out of a vending machine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like we're almost challenging the models in a new way, which is approaching a new definition of AGI.
Yeah. No.
Got it.
What else is kind of interesting is like technically maybe it did manage to sell the dead fish. It just had to throw in a
Yeah.
free PS5. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, sell the dead fish for $500. Sell the PS fish for free. It's
Yeah, I
the
wonder how
PS5 for free. It's kind of
Dude, have you heard of the Xbox One fish? It's so good.
I wonder if he got like rewarded more for like selling a dead fish. So it's like, how do we sell the dead fish? And it's like, okay, I got it. We'll do an insane deal where we give a PS5 away for free.
That's like a marketing benchmark.
Yeah,
Like, you
crazy
just
good
give
way.
it the most absurd things, and you're like, you have to sell this to like the average person on the street. Like,
Yeah, I know. You'd have to set up some rules so it can't just be like, okay, I'd give them $100 if they buy it for $5. Like,
Yeah, right.
you have to set up some profitability.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know if that's like something more and more benchmarks will start looking towards too. That's probably something
Yeah.
we can dig into in the next episode. But it's just kind of interesting that the idea of benchmarks have changed. I feel
All right.
like
So I think the formal prediction there is that we'll see at least one more economic benchmark.
I mean
similar.
your prediction was even more drastic than that. No, what was it?
Well,
End of this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so here, we'll go back
it
to
is
the
the
format.
snake order anyways.
It's
so
the
this
snake
works
order.
out.
So yeah, you
So-
give the formal prediction here.
Yeah, the formal prediction was that every single benchmark that's relevant right now and has a lot of attention on it right now will be obsolete by the end of 2026, and that's a pretty safe
sorry,
prediction.
Vending bench. That's
So explain what that means, like in this context.
Well, okay, I'll dive into like a case study that Yash and I worked on as an example. But in the span of 6 months, Yash and I saw the most popular software engineering benchmark go from like the highest model score was a 60%. So it got 60% of the tasks in the problem set right. It went from 60 to Blitzy, our model that the company we work for achieved 86.8%, 86.6, something like that. And we've determined that benchmark is approaching saturation because the remaining problems are like have inherent flaws in them basically. But that's just one example of like in the span of 6 months, these models like continuously the past 2 years have just been achieving like close to hundreds. So.
It's already starting to get replaced with a SweBench Pro, which is another benchmark that we're starting to look at, and those scores are like 25%. Those problems
it's
are
already at 50.
Really?
It went to 50. It was the launch of Gemini 3 and Cloud 4.5 Opus brought it from like it was around 20 to 30 and it went up to 50. So it's just insane the pace at which it's moving.
Well, I'd also like to add, I think to add, like, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but kind of like in addition to your prediction is like, not only are we going to see these like benchmarks just being beaten like so fast, like boom, 100% next one, like within the year, is also like a rapidly increasing rate of AIs proving the flaws of benchmarks way faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Great point. Yeah. I mean, I think 50% of the work we did, that Yash and I did with the other Blitzy interns over the summer was just debug what was wrong with the benchmark design itself.
Yeah.
Like we're given this standardized test that we have to put Blitzy against, but at the end of the day, there's so much that's limited by the actual design of the problems.
It's like taking a standardized test in school, but then they only give you like a pen instead of a pencil, and you just can't change anything. You put it down, you're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's just like, or like they skip out on half the problems or something.
Exactly.
There's just
Yeah.
if there are flaws in the test itself, no matter how smart you are, you're not going to be able to
Or they
perform the
write the test in a pen, and anytime they make a mistake, they don't change it, and they still give you the test.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
I see.
it's interesting because, like Jack said, we struggled a lot with just like trying to figure out what exactly was going on with the benchmark to the point where we started just making edits to the source code itself because we were like, okay, we know this is wrong. I mean, we like to tell the story as kind of like a synopsis of our summer about how we were digging through code, and then we just saw a little note that said, "Hey, developer, make sure this works." It did not work. It did not work at all. So Jack and I had to change that. And it's just kind of interesting because I feel like an AI could do that so much faster. Like to Luke's point, just like, hey, make sure everything in this benchmark is correct. It digs through the entire repository. It's just like, okay, here are the issues that I find. Here are the limitations, whatever. And then maybe that goes into designing the next benchmark. Maybe AI itself starts designing its own benchmark.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, can you have Gemini design a benchmark for GPT or something?
Yeah, exactly. No, but I do like, back to your point about like it'll be switching over to like monetary results. I do think that's a huge talking point here, because I think what that's gonna achieve is like so much in terms of the business world. And it's like, people have been talking about, when is AI going to become profitable? I think you're finally going to see that profitability when you start measuring it. And that's how you test AIs, is how profitable they can be.
And that's like, that's profitability, like autonomously. Like these benchmarks are almost always no human intervention. Like you just got to, like, you set your model up with everything it needs at the beginning, and then you just let it fly. Let her fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we touched on marketing a little bit. One of the things that I'm sure you guys at home have seen are a rampant takeover of AI ads.
This is your formal third prediction.
This is my formal prediction.
He's using one of his 2 slots here, guys. Okay.
My formal prediction, I guess, I actually didn't run this by you guys either. I think AI advertising will get to the point where governments will start having to step in just because of how swamped it's going to get.
Yeah.
I think it's getting to it. Like, obviously the example that I always come to is Kalshi, which is a sports booking app that's whole market is like bet on anything. And the one that I always think of is this like grandma in a Vikings helmet being like, you can trade on it. And she's talking about the like a Vikings player getting traded or something. It's just like, those kinds of AI ads have taken over, like even like like YouTube ads, TikTok ads. It's half of it's like Kalshi, at least for me. Maybe that's my algorithm knowing I want a sports bet. Maybe that's a me problem. I'm not entirely sure yet. But I think it will get to a point where no matter how slow the government is at responding to these AI things, I think it's going to get to a point where they have to step in and be like, okay, these AI ads are like targeting a certain demographic, or they're targeting like, in the same way that ads can't be targeted at kids because of certain violations, I think it'll get to a point where it's like, okay, these AI ads are starting to be chugged out, getting around like OSHA violations and everything.
Well, I think like on top of that, like one of them, like a really interesting thing is like, do people then like see an AI ad and it's worse? It's like, oh, it's just AI. This is like, I'm not going to buy anything from AI.
Yeah.
It's kind of, is it going to lose its value? Like right now we're getting a lot of AI stuff, but I don't know.
I think maybe that's a better prediction. I think it'll go away in some form or another, whether it be government intervention or just the companies realizing that it's not working.
Where it's too much.
Yeah. It's just not working. They have to come back on it. Because I did download Kalshi. I mean, my algorithm was right.
What did you bet on?
In the end, you did.
I do want a sports bet, but it wasn't just because of the ads even remotely. It was like the ads were,
the Grandma Viking wasn't convincing.
Grandma Viking wasn't convincing, unfortunately.
Grandma Viking.
One of my friends was telling me about how he got $70 on his first bet. He's stupid lucky. I did not get $70 on my first bet. I was lied to. But I downloaded it because of that, which I feel like in general is pretty good marketing if one of your close friends is enjoying the app. The AI is the reason why I spent so long not downloading it, because I was like, these AI ads are upsetting me. They're pissing me off. I don't want to.
I think it's going to be hard to get rid of the power of AI advertising completely, because I think whether it is less effective, like it's going to be less effective. So when you're watching the Super Bowl in 2027, you're going to be getting real human ads. We're not doing 2027 predictions, but that's my 2027
the leading companies
prediction.
will still be the same, the same ones that push the ads as well, like State Farm, whatever.
Yes, and it's AI ads will have lost their touch by then.
Can you imagine if we got Jake from State Farm on the podcast? That'd be so sick.
He'll be the guest next week, so stay tuned, subscribe. No, but I think I do think that AI ads are going to be impossible to replace just because of how cheap, fast, and easy they are. So I think no matter how much pushback there will be, and the high budget ads will then go back to being human and all that. I just saw like a Coca-Cola AI ad. We're not going to see many more of those. It's not going to sell, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I do think you're going to be scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and you're just getting random cheap ads.
Yeah.
Their cheap ads they're probably gonna still be AI. I don't think they'll ever replace that.
Right. And then you think the government intervention, or I guess this was Yash's prediction.
Yeah, that was my original point. Just like I think like the other thing I'm thinking of is like I saw an ad that was like an AI puppy toy. And it was like specifically
Perfectly targeted.
Yeah, yeah. And then look at, well, to be fair, I was watching TV with my younger sister, who is like she's 12. She's in that target demographic, who like wanting a pet or something.
Gosh's younger sister will be a guest eventually on the podcast.
Oh my God, I think we can violate some labor laws if I bring a 12-year-old into a podcast.
Maybe.
It's just like, it feels like really weird that they're targeting kids like that. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, it's like some old AI generated grandma talking about how this was the perfect gift for my kid or whatever. And my sister's just looking at it. And we talked about this before in episodes in the past, how it's going to get harder and harder to recognize what's AI, especially for a younger generation that's growing up with it.
Yeah, true. Or, I mean, I don't know. It does seem like the younger generation has been able to figure out technology better, like consistently over the course of time, better than the older.
That's true. I think I'm looking more at like it's integrated in their lives already so much that they're not even realizing that they're being.
It's
like,
more as like a trust thing, like they just trust it faster, I guess. Yeah. Even if they do recognize that it's AI. So at that point, like, does every 5-year-old just immediately like buy whatever AI ad is like put in front of them?
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't remember if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like the older generation was scared of privacy, is still scared of privacy on the internet. And we grew up on the internet, so when they're like oh, like decline cookies, you know, I don't understand. We're like whatever, you know,
just
accept
get me
cookies.
to the page, bro. Like,
because we grew up with the internet.
Just send me the malware, bro.
Take all my data, man.
We grew up with the internet. We don't care about the cookies. And then now when we get to AI, we're talking about security, and I have a prediction on that later in the episode, but we're talking about security and we're worried about that. But is the next generation going to do the same thing with like what we did with cookies? It's going to be like, I grew up with it, I trust it, whatever, take all my data, like learn whoever I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you have a convincing argument there if I'm understanding your argument. Like, I think they will be easily convinced, and in the world of like online shopping or advertisements, I guess maybe we do see a world where they're just like
full
buy.
Buy this for me, whatever, you know, it's like full trust. According to the snake order,
it's me again.
You again?
I think one of the other predictions I feel strongest about is that Gemini will win the AI race in 2026. That being, that will be the most adopted, the most used, the most like renowned AI agent on the market right now. And I think the main reason I think that is because it's already so integrated into other areas of our life, like Google is. Like think about YouTube, think about like Google search, Docs, Drive, all of that. Like I'm imagining like you just put like a YouTube search is already powered by like a similar to AI driven search algorithm where it's just based on like keywords. Imagine you also integrate AI into that, and then it starts feeding you new predictions of like stuff that you might like based on like other videos that you've watched, or even your recommended feed is already that. Imagine you empower it more with AI. And then you start looking at something like Docs. One of the main inconveniences of things like ChatGPT is you write out something, you have to look at it on ChatGPT, and if you want to save it somewhere, it has to go like to a doc, to a Word document, whatever. So Gemini can bypass that so easily. It can just be implemented your docs, your sheets, whatever. And it's just with the power of API calling. Say you build a platform, power it with Gemini, and then Gemini takes whatever data is going into that platform, puts it on a spreadsheet for you. You already have the spreadsheet and everything. You don't even have to make it separately.
I think with, you know, people were always like, you know, how is, you know, Google's there, Gemini 2, right? Google's there, it's in the race. And it's like everyone saw the advantage that they have. They have so much data, right? They have a huge team, they have a ton of resources, but no one really considered it like, oh, they're gonna win for sure, until they proved that not only did they have the resources, but they could produce the product with Gemini. And I think Gemini 3 has definitely proved that, as you said. Like, I think that's been the stepping stone. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to hear your opinion on this, Jack, because I think, I mean, you code with all of them and you kind of know a lot of the differences. But I do think that Gemini 3 being as powerful as it is really does give Google a big step ahead as of right now.
I've really been focused on the coding world recently with LLMs. I'm curious. Like, I think I totally agree that Gemini it's like in a really strong position for, you know, for that general model that you always just go to like, and it learns what you like. And but I've been focused on Claude a lot recently and how good it is at coding. I'm just like, I don't know if I don't know if Google will surpass the coding ability of Claude in 2026, but I feel like at that point you're almost like you get less LLM options. Like, do you guys think we see more LLM options or less LLM options, and like as we get further into this?
Less meaning like less companies
Yeah, like
using
less competition. Like there's a clear winner. I'm like, oh, I'm using honestly, I think
like
right
you use
now,
Claude for coding, you use Gemini for this, you use Chat for this because that's what they're the best
or is
at.
it
Or is
more
there
like
gonna be
just
like a
Gemini is
model?
like everything is like, oh, I'm using Gemini kind of deal.
I think we could definitely see kind of like an Apple iPhone instance where there's kind of a very standard that people like to go to that like most people have for kind of like a daily use thing, right? That like there will 100%, I mean, a lot of systems will have kind of everything incorporated. I mean, we're already seeing that, right? Like, OpenAI already has, their codex plus,
right.
their all their features,
they all have
the image
like
generation,
a lot of overlapping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're gonna see, and we talked about, actually, I don't know. Have we talked about the hybrid model?
No, the idea that AI right now is there's a difference between symbolic AI and actual like LLM based machine learning AI. Machine learning AI is your ChatGPT, your Gemini, whatever. Yep. Symbolic AI has been around actually long before that. The example I always
good old fashioned AI. Actually, I wrote my junior research paper on this exact topic.
I think the main example that I always come to, that's how I explain like it to you guys too, is chess. The way chess works is since it's a closed system, there's a set amount of moves you can do. Like you can't move your knight anywhere on the board. There's a set amount of places. Yep. The way symbolic AI works is it's called a decision tree, where you start off with one decision, branches off to 2 to 3 to 4, whatever. Yep. Eventually you have a map of literally everything that could happen in the game. That's why chess bots have been good since like the 60s. They just haven't. It wasn't an issue of like, oh, is the machine smart enough? It's do we have enough energy and compute to give this machine to process everything?
Yeah.
Right. And like decision trees ultimately will take so much less compute than running a billion parameter neural network.
Yeah. Exactly.
But less
like
capability.
Generalization. And like
just less like actual reasoning, because the real world obviously isn't a closed system. Theoretically, anything could happen. Yeah. If there's not like a rule book for the universe. It's just
and hybrid is the use of the combination of the two. It's used in self-driving cars. It's used in a lot of medical AI technology. It's used for where basically less room for error instances, right? And so I think getting back to the point we were talking about earlier, where it's like, are we going to see one overall LLM? I think, there's going to be a big daily use, but I think we're going to see a lot of hybrid, specifically designed agents coming out in 2026 as well.
Right. And then those agents are going to be based off a variety of LLMs. Yeah, I think it's safe to say by the end of 2026, they will be a lot more popular. Yeah. Yes, and we'll have like the agents will be coming from a variety of LLM providers still.
Yeah.
There's like really good classic capitalist competition. Like people, when ChatGPT comes out with a feature, like Sora, whatever, like maybe Google VO turns into a social media app next. Like you never.
Yeah,
know,
they compete with Sora and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out our pilot episode 1. Go watch that if you haven't. But okay, Jack, would you like to?
Yeah, I mean, my prediction's pretty similar to what we've been talking about.
What if that's the fun one? Should we end with that one?
I'm forgetting what the fun one is, so I'll let Luke.
It's the gaming one.
We can end with that.
Okay. Right. Did you have another one?
I get 3 predictions though. So
did you have another one?
I did have another one.
All right,
I kind of just thought of it on the spot.
Go for that one.
Yeah, so kind of, I mean, we've been touching on this, but I think we're gonna see more and more like LLMs that are working with you on a day-to-day basis and like have cross context between multiple things you're doing. So that was kind of a bad explanation, but like you'll have some bot you can talk to, like it's almost like a personal assistant, and it'll have enough like awareness of your daily life that it'll be able to like connect things that happen in completely different parts of the day together without you having to like prompt it
Manually do
about
it.
those two different
Okay,
things.
so I like this example because I just had to recently do this. I'm planning on going a trip with my family, and then I realized that the plan overlapped with a doctor's appointment, so I had to reschedule that doctor's appointment
Right.
to a different day.
Mhm.
You're saying, what if AI just you tell AI like, hey, I'm going on a vacation this day,
Yeah.
and then it automatically just like connects and realizes like,
Right.
hey, you have a doctor's appointment to reschedule.
Yeah, the
Right.
idea of that of a personal agent is
Right.
100%. I think we already see it being used in like, I mean, ChatGPT has been used by mothers all around the world for meal prep. Like it's already being used in that daily organizational sense.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of like connecting
But
it to
yeah.
a calendar with all
Yeah,
the
I think
information.
then that's where your prediction of the
Google
Google
Calendar,
integration.
bro. Google Calendar.
Yeah.
They have literally everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
lock in Google. Come on.
the data. I'm sure they're already working on it, but yeah,
they could
the
spin that up in
integration.
like 15 minutes, bro. give me Gemini Premium, and then I'll just spin it up for you.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
no, no.
Gemini Premium through
What?
Blitzy.
I'm gonna hire here.
Spin it up in 15 minutes and then show them the product. That's how you get the job. No, but I do like that prediction that we will see that kind of full helper AI. And if one of you guys wants to make it, go for it. We didn't. Should we
Give
copyright it?
us
We should
give us
copyright it.
credit though.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's
we're
entirely
copywriting
possible
that.
that it's like a major LLM provider
Yeah.
that will come out with this feature, and I think it's a matter of like who's willing to actually give the LLM full ride of their
Yeah.
life of your
Yeah.
life. Like, it's really sweet to like have the AI just be like, oh, you're talking about this like these LED strips you wanted for your dorm the other day, and like
They're on
and it's
sale
like,
now.
Yeah,
Check
they're on
it out.
sale now. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I want
But-
AI to know that I had a
but do
doctor's
you-
appointment and
Yeah.
what the doctor's appointment was for?
Yeah,
Let's-
are we gonna get AI notification slop? Oh
my God.
Like, is that gonna take over?
Guess what's on sale? Guess
like-
what's on sale? Guess what's on sale?
Yeah, no, it should all optimize itself. Okay, moving on to the last of the official prediction. Then we have a fun one to close on.
Mhm.
But AI security will be a huge deal. I think in 2026. I think AI will be integrated into most, if not all, of professional security systems. I think there will be a lot of in larger, more big scale security operations. I think there's going to be a lot of AI help involved through facial recognition. Right, you have a human sitting there watching 10 cameras in a facility. AI watching all 10, right? And then if it's it's a really secure facility, you also have the human there, right? For obvious reasons. But I think as well as integrating it into a ring camera or many instances, and then also fraud. I think that's a huge one. Implementing AI fraud detection. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's almost like, can the AI fraud detection system improve faster than the fraud improves? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's-
Can AI beat itself? Can AI fraud detection beat AI fraud?
You're gonna have like your fraud bot like
Fraud
guarding
bot.
your inbox, but then there's gonna be like a fraud attacker.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm gonna take a pessimistic stance on this at first.
Okay.
Maybe you guys can battle back with optimism.
Okay.
But I feel like the rate at which people can just create slop like and scams with AI right now. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it's not completely taken advantage of. I think on LinkedIn actually it is taken advantage of. Like there's so many AI.
Like we're willing to pay you $30 an hour
Yeah,
to
exactly,
do nothing.
like-
Oh my god. Yeah.
That kind of crap is like net negative for the world, I'd say.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
feel like that stuff can get cranked out really quickly right now. So we do need to catch up on like the fraud detection front, or like some way to filter out the crap.
We're
We're
gonna
already
s-
starting behind. on
We're gonna
fraud
see a
detection.
lot of AI against AI in 2026. Is what you're saying?
AI against AI, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure. We've already been seeing that for years now. But yeah, for sure.
how do you guys think like the grandmas that get scammed from like phone calls are gonna do
Oh,
in this
God.
new wave?
With
Like,
with AI voice, there's got to be education involved here. There's got to be.
Yeah, hold up. What are
There's
they
gotta
doing
be
in senior care? Get them in classes or something, bro. Quit playing shuffleboard and learn how you don't
put this
give your
podcast on at the
don't learn
nursing
how
home.
you're
Oh,
gonna
God.
give your like grandson's college savings away by accident,
We're
bro.
gonna have to
And it's
start
gonna be
taking
like your grandson's voice on the other side of the phone
Oh my
as
god,
well.
like
They're
grandma, I
already-
need $10,000, please.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh
that
my
already
God.
worked on my in my family one.
That
Not
has
gonna
also
give-
that has
and it
also
wasn't
worked.
that bad. It wasn't that
Okay.
bad.
That has also almost worked in my family.
But that
yeah.
was pre like 11 Labs voice.
What tipped her off? It was my grandmother. What tipped her off was the voice.
Yeah,
The voice
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, it was like, why do you not sound like you at all? And like,
Yeah.
It was like a bot asking for money for bail. It was like I'm in jail.
That's exactly what it was for me. It was my older brother. Yeah.
Wait, that's the
God.
reason she realized the voice was the reason, not that you went to jail and she didn't hear about it.
I guess.
No,
I guess
exactly.
she just assumed I could go to jail. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that Luke kid. Dude, I knew he was going to
I
jail.
knew it was
one day.
doomed for jail.
I knew it was gonna. No. I mean, I think education a big part. I mean, eventually, maybe we just have to take away phone privileges. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think my grandma knows how to use a phone.
That might be the safest
just
play.
like, just like
Maybe
okay.
that's where the government steps in and like creates
Yeah.
some laws around what you're actually able to do with like AI voice over the
Yeah.
phone. Like maybe you have to like certify with the government to become a
This
voice
is-
company. Or, I don't know.
I think legally you are gonna it's definitely gonna be requirements. So that's gonna be like state. Hi, this is an AI talking to you.
Yeah,
blah,
like-
blah, blah.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I see definitely that happening.
Mhm.
2026.
then like we don't have like I feel like that's something the government would actually be forced to carry out because grandmas are getting scammed millions of dollars a year from something like that.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's tougher on the social media front when it's like Sora generated videos. Like how do you almost provide a like equivalent indicator that it is AI or like I don't know if that's quite as
Yeah, they're
important.
gonna have to figure
like
something
you need
legally
some kind
out.
of like you need to
watermark.
figure out how to watermark it. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Would you like to? We're running short on
Yeah.
time.
All right,
here.
my
Would you
third
like to close?
prediction. I guess we can share this prediction equally 1/3 so that I'm not
Sure.
taking too much space up. But I think we're gonna have like an amazing AI native video game.
Mhm.
And just to elaborate on what that means,
Yeah.
I think my definition of the first AI native video game is like
Explain AI native for people
yeah.
who
So
might
I'm
not
just
know.
coining that right now. That's not a real term, but
Yeah, well, AI native is real built upon,
Yeah.
built with AI from the beginning, right?
not only is the game built with AI, like vibe coding, whatever,
Yeah.
but I also think what my definition of that is like each character, for example, would be powered by an LLM.
Mhm.
And I know it's like
Yep.
hard to get an LLM on like your local Xbox right now. I know because like you
Mhm.
can't. It's hard to get like you can't get GPT running on your console right now.
Yeah.
And you'd have to like be calling an API, which doesn't really make sense when you're downloading a game on your console. But that's overly technical. But anyways,
Yeah.
the main point being like the barrier right now it seems to like an Xbox game coming out where like all the characters are like NPCs or all the NPCs are like powered by LLMs, which would be sick.
Yeah.
Like imagine an open world game
Yeah,
where it's like everyone you talk to is like a pre-programmed LLM that's like for that character.
for that
Like,
character,
they are
like
that character.
they're all their own rapper AI.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I do. I think. I mean, I know there's already stuff out there. Maybe this exact product has been out by the time this episode airs, but there's
I
definitely
hope so. I'll be playing it.
NPCs. Yeah, NPCs using AI in some games, but I do think that not just are we going to see like the AI native game of the year that's going to like take over, which is I 100% agree with that prediction, but I think we're also going to see AI being incorporated into so many games, especially
Mhm.
with the NPC
Mhm.
idea,
Definitely.
right?
I feel like the easiest one to introduce on that idea is like replacing the Madden announcer with the like
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever the freaking
Even beyond that, like we're talking about NPCs. Like I play a lot of Terraria, and it's just like the
Yeah.
NPCs just have like a set like 10 lines they
Yeah.
say, and when you're fishing with the angler for the 50th time for that one quest or something, and
Yeah.
he says the third thing, that like same thing 5 times in a row, you kind of want to
Yeah.
chuck your controller.
Mhm.
But it's just like it can be implemented in so many different areas, like you're saying,
Mhm.
specifically with voice, that I think it just makes it a more engaging experience. Which
Mhm.
I think it goes like even beyond that as well. I think there's a whole world of like bots. Like I know there's like you can train against a Rocket League bot. You can
Mhm,
train. There's Fortnite bots, right? I think once you start to see all of this bot technology being incorporated with AI, you're gonna start to see almost more like games will never have a problem of shortage of player count. Like
Mhm,
again,
mhm.
right? Like
yeah,
being
as long
able-
as there's one dude and
And they can
99
be-
people in the
yeah.
lobby who are AI, it'll be like an actual
and it's
competitive
gonna you're
game.
gonna feel like it's a competitive game. The AI is gonna be like going around doing it as
Mhm.
if it was like another player, and you're gonna be able to. Yeah, I think there's gonna be huge amounts of like, oh, like I don't got any friends online. Like let me like, all right, I want to play squads, but I want to play squads.
We'll have to
with
build in a
3
mandatory
AIs.
like 2 real people per game so that you at least have one real
Yeah.
person to talk to.
Yeah, but then you can set the level of like difficulty
Right.
so much more accurate. I think
So your squad mates are like Unreal and they just wipe.
yeah. No, I mean, I think also in like boss fight. I mean, think about boss fights.
Mhm.
This already definitely exists. I'm trying to think of the game, but there's definitely an AI boss fighting game that just came out late 2025. But I think that's going to be huge for single player games. It's gonna feel way more real.
And I would argue that like an AI generated video game, if you're able to like get the masses off of reels or like doom scrolling and onto a game, you know, like the attention economy, we've talked about this. The attention economy is scarce. Like your attention is scarce, but like I still think it's better to get people into a game than
I think I can see AI video games outperforming AI content in 2026.
Content like Sora,
right. Again, AI versus AI, but AI. For sure.
We should just retitle the episode to AI versus AI.
Yeah.
One last question for y'all. Do you think that AI native video game will come before or after GTA 6?
Will GTA 6 be dead by the time it comes out? Yeah, will it be outdated?
I don't know. It got pushed back like a full calendar year at this point. So I don't know.
Let's release GTA 7 before GTA 6 comes out.
GTA 6 is going to come out and it's going to be all these like pre-trained NPCs and we'll be like, actually we have like way cooler stuff now. So no one wants to play your game you've been working on for a decade.
Yeah.
Or however long.
As instead, there used to be this company, Inworld AI, that was doing like working specifically on this like LLMs powering NPCs. And Yash and I looked up the product the other day, and it seems like they pivoted. So
they just pivoted entirely.
It's an open market.
It's really depressing.
It's an open market. Someone's got to do it.
For one of our viewers out there, you never know.
Yeah.
All right.
We might join you if you want. We can become founding partners if it does well.
Tune in next time for the Jack special. We're gonna have a big episode on benchmarking. And
leave your predictions for 2026 below. We promise not to steal credit.
Yep. Put them down in the comment section. Maybe
we'll pin the best one. The best prediction.
If some are good, we'll go over them in the next episode. But it sounds good. All right. Peace out.